To everybody. I hope you can hear me, all of you. And yes, so I am Shamika Mone, President of INOFO, and also a researcher turned organic farmer from India. For those who don't know INOFO, INOFO is a global network of organic farmers organizations in Asia, Africa, Latin America, North America, Oceania, Pacifica, and Europe. And we have our members in about 72 countries, and we are representing about 2.5 million organic farming families around the world. Today, we are here for our first INOFO webinar this year, which is on the seed enterprises as an insight for organic farmers around the world. And today we have three speakers. The first two speakers, Julia Kamau and Francis Ngiri, are from Seed Savers Network in Kenya, while the next speaker is Dr. Ravi K. Magal from Sahaja Seeds, or Desi Seed Producer Company Limited, as we call it, from Mysore, India. And as we are all organic farmers, we always rely on traditional open pollinated seeds that are kept locally over the years and passed as a heritage from farmers from generations to generations. But as you may already know, that with the advent of green revolution and the introduction of hybrid seeds, as well as later the genetically modified seeds that came in, over the past 2 decades, we actually drastically lost a lot of traditional open pollinated seeds, and eventually leading to difficulties in accessibility and availability of such native seeds. So we feel it's very important to have such webinars for knowledge exchange between our members to see how we can have the traditional seeds locally available and accessible for all organic farmers. So without taking any further time from this webinar and the exciting time that we are going to have, please allow me to invite Julia Kamau, who is the Deputy Team Leader at Seed Savers Network, as well as a gender and agroecology market specialist. She is a trained expert in agribusiness, seed production, and rural issues, as well as a young organic vegetable and now a mushroom farmer herself, and a seed saver and a businesswoman herself. Julia's work focuses on women's empowerment in areas of agriculture business, enterprise development, value addition, social and personal development. She will speak about the efforts made by the Seed Savers Network of farmers in Kenya to promote seed enterprises within the farmer managed seed systems. So, Julia, I hand it over to you and a warm welcome to all the speakers, and I invite Julia to take the stage. Over to you, Julia.
Thank you so much, Shamika. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the people who have joined from everywhere you're joining. As you heard, my name is Julia. I work for an organization called Seed Savers Network. I'm just trying to share my screen. I'll be okay, now it should come. Confirm you can see my screen, Shamika, in full share.
Yes, yes, we can see. Yes,
All
Julia.
right, thank you. All right. As I was mentioning, I work for an organization called Seed Savers Network. So Seed Savers is a network of farmers, and one of the farmers will be speaking today and sharing the work they are doing in a village in Kenya. So Seed Savers Network, we are 14 years old, and our work is mainly on conservation of agrobiodiversity. And we do that through working with community seed banks. And we have a big network of farmers that we are working with in Kenya. And so far, we are working with over 86,000 households, farming households. So as a network, as I mentioned, we work with community seed banks. And our motto or our slogan is our seeds, our food, our future. So all the network members, this is a slogan that we use. This is a picture of our community seed bank. And as I present, I'll just be sharing a few pictures of the work we are doing. So today, as Shamika mentioned, with this network with this webinar that we are having today, we are members of INOFO. INOFO, as Shamika has already shared, is a network of organic farm organizations. And as Seed Savers, we are members of INOFO, as well as other affiliations like the African Biodiversity Network, the Global Open Source Seed Initiative. We are also part of the CBD. We are accredited CBD, the Convention for Biodiversity. We are also members of Alliance for Food Sovereignty in Africa. And so basically, we do a lot of work and dialogue on policy, peasants' rights, a lot on market also, and seed enterprises, as I will be sharing today. Sorry, it's not moving. So to start off with what I had prepared to share, in Kenya, we have several seed laws and policies, and we have also two forms or systems of seeds. We have what they call the formal seed system, and now we have the informal. For us as a network, the informal we call farmer managed seed system, which is where we play. We are the more of the biggest players in the farmer managed seed system as a network of farmers doing a lot of seed saving, as is one of the characteristics of informal seed sector or the farmer managed. So I wanted to share some statistics on how it looks like for the farmer managed seed system. So these statistics were done in 2001. So They're a bit recent, 3 years back. And from the table here, what is coming clear is that the contribution of seeds that are grown in Kenya come from the informal or the farmer managed seed system. So for example, the first crop on the table, the beans. So the beans, with the percentage at the very end here, 99.4% of the seeds, of the bean seeds, come from farmer managed seed system, and not the formal. So the only two from this summary table that I was able to get, only maize and funny thing millet are from the formal. The biggest percentage is from the formal, and maize is clearly understandable. It's in Kenya, it is a staple food. And also we have many corporate companies that have invested in maize and in maize seed production. But all the other key crops, which are grown and are key crops in Kenya, you find that 100% or closely to 100 are contributed by the farmer managed seed system. So it is very hard to ignore the contribution of the informal seed sector. Unfortunately, in Kenya, the situation and our laws, we don't have good laws that support the farmer managed seed system. So as a network, as an organization, as a network, our work, we've been working closely to lobby the government we've done a lot of policies. There is already a case in court. There is a law in Kenya which prohibits farmers from sharing, basically from the existence of this farmer managed seed system. There's a law, the Seed and Plant Varieties Act of 2012. It prohibits farmers from exchanging and sharing their seeds. We are happy that we are part of the case that is currently in court. And with the Gen Z uproar in Kenya, the case has gained a lot of traction, and we were able to have the Law Society of Kenya joining the case. So the case is much stronger, and we hope we are able to win. And the matters of the case is that we are telling the government it's very much unconstitutional to prohibit the sharing of seeds, because the Constitution of Kenya allows for sharing and celebrating culture. It is part of our rights as the Kenyan people. So that is a small summary. And how the farmer managed seed system works, it works through community seed banks. I want to share a few works around community seed banks that we've been doing. So these are just a few pictures of various community seed banks in Kenya. And mostly the women are playing a big role. They are the custodians of seeds, and they're doing a lot of work on the seed seed banks. They are organized in groups, and they do this work through now their community seed banks. So these are a few pictures of the farmers. So seed banks play a very big role in the community, and some of the benefits that it has given farmers, one is it provides a social space for farmers to meet and talk about food issues. It is also a platform where farmers can meet and pass their traditional knowledge to even younger society members. So community seed bank, we are seeing the benefits that it's giving to our community members. Also, it is a very big source of seed, as I shared from the table. It is providing over 90% of most seeds that communities grow for food in Kenya. Also, a lot of learning happens around the community seed bank. It's also a space for training Apart from that, it also creates a connection with our national gene bank.
You can see my screen, Shamika.
So what that means is that we work closely with the government as well. There's a Genetic Resource Institute of Kenya, which is our national gene bank, who are legally mandated to conserve our local foods.
I hope you can hear me.
Unfortunately, sometimes they have limited resources and they're not able to do a bigger extent of the work, but we collaborate with them also through the community seed banks. So what I wanted to share before I welcome the farmer Francis to share his experience. So also seed banks, we have seen, and this is the main topic of our webinar today. We have seen seed banks providing an opportunity for enterprises to happen and seed enterprises. So these are a few pictures of Eden Seed Bank, which is the seed bank, Francis Seed Bank. He's the lead. They have a group, and these are some of their seeds. They are open source seeds. We are using an innovation that we have to exchange our seeds within the network. So we have developed a policy document, a material transfer document, which ensures that seeds that farmers have been able to characterize and document, which I'm going to share next on the work farmers have done on documenting local varieties. So the policy material that we are using, the material transfer document that we use within the network, has stipulated clearly on protecting the local varieties of farmers from any kind of biopiracy that people or breeders can take to use those materials. So they're restricting the materials to communal use and open source use, because as a network, we are saying we are advocating for food sovereignty, and we are also saying that seeds should belong to every member of the community. They should not be patented, and they should be shared within the communities. So, that is what Francis will be sharing. These are just a few seeds, and he will tell us what it means if he packages like this, because in our laws, this is illegal, but he will share more. Through the seed fairs, also the seed community seed banks, farmers have an opportunity to share their seeds and do festivals like the pictures that I'm just showing here. I want finally to talk about the work farmers have done on characterizing and documenting of local varieties. So we have done over 66 varieties of different crops. We were working with 10 crops. So with the 10 crops, we were able to document and characterize 66 varieties. We have done a catalog document of the different varieties that farmers have documented. The pictures you're seeing was more like participatory research or participatory characterization, where farmers were able to plant all the 66 varieties, and they were planted in repetitions in different farmer areas and different climatic conditions, just to see and observe their characteristics, to document how they look. So this is also an effort to ensure that farmers own their local varieties, understand their varieties, and are able to choose even based on the best characteristics, the needs that they have in the community. They are able to understand the characters. How long does this bean take? What is the color? Is it a climber, or does it is not is a non-climber? The tomatoes, everything. So just to allow Ms. Shamika to share quickly the catalog work that farmers have been able to do, the 66 varieties that I mentioned, that farmers have been able to document. So we have them in nice pictorials that I can quickly scan through. Let me share my screen. Okay. So I hope I've not taken extra time.
No, it's okay. You can quickly show us through your catalog and we can see the screen.
Oh, all right. Thank you. If you can see the screen. So these are the 66 varieties farmers were able to document and characterize. We have like the black nightshade. We had over 5 varieties. And we had, let me just confirm. So these are 4 varieties we have documented, and farmers use their own local names as it for the farmer managed seed system. Farmers have their own local names that they call those varieties. They were able to document all the characteristics, their growth habit, their leaf colors. We also had different broad beans varieties. We had around 7 broad bean varieties that we were able to document with the farmers. So this booklet catalog is providing a summary of how each of the varieties look, and it's a tool that farmers also will remain with in the communities. We also had garden peas. We had 5 varieties that we were able to document. We also had common beans, which were many, around 17. I think around 17 varieties of common beans that belong to the community that farmers grow, and they were able to document all and look at their growth habit. We also had the Irish potatoes, 5 varieties, the spring onions, the sweet potatoes were also many varieties. I think we had 15 or more varieties of sweet potatoes. And they were also checking in terms of the market need for that. So this work was able to guide in terms of now, in case now the next step is now investing and going into enterprises of these different local varieties. So farmers were able to see which one grows fast, what kind of pest attacks this variety, and how do you handle that. And this is more like a preparatory process before now starting a full work on establishing their local enterprises. But now I want to invite Francis, who will share his own experience and what they do at Eden Seed Bank. Francis,
Yes,
if you can. Yes, over
yes,
to you.
yes. Thanks, Julia. And it's wonderful to see how much efforts Seed Savers Network have been doing for so long years and documented so many varieties. Not only documented them, but they are also viable in the farmers' fields, and unfortunately the laws don't allow them to share the seeds between farmers, but it's incredible work that Seed Savers is doing over the years. And it's now let's hear what Francis Ngeri has to say, and let me just introduce him. So Francis Ngeri is an agroecology farmer from Makongo village. I hope I'm saying it right. Makongo village, Elementa Elementiata Nakuru. Nakuru is easier to say. It's a place in Kenya. He has been saving his own seeds since 2014. And this has not only made him and his family food secure, but it has also made them earn a livelihood through their innovative indigenous seeds exchange programs. And he will be sharing with us his innovation on seed exchange that they're doing within his family and through Seed Savers Network. So we welcome Francis and Giri. Can you please unmute yourself and put your video on if your internet allows?
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Francis Ngiri, a seed ambassador with the Seed Savers Network and chairperson of a CBO called Makongo Farmers Network. And we own a community seed bank called called Eden Seed Bank. We joined Seed Savers in 2014. And all what Julia was saying is the training we have undergone, all those agroecology practices, and also seed selection, cleaning, and storage. I have also been involved in seed fairs and exposure visits in and outside the country. And in that, those are the bases that it is under those bases that in 2021, we decided to start a program with my group, seed exchange program. And the aim of the program was to make sure that seed bank members become vibrant. They are busy doing something, because if we just save seeds and just stay like that, members will see as if it's not interesting. So we started it as an activity to keep the members engaged. Another aim was also to try and earn livelihood from having a seed bank, and also to make sure that no member of our community will fail to plant due to problem of seed access, because we noted that there was a lot of problem in accessing seeds. So that was also a name when we were starting the program. Because I remember when we started our seed bank, we had only 14 varieties, but due to those seed fairs and exchanges, and another was also to spread the seed biodiversity across Kenyan community. That was also our aim. And another one was to make more and more seed varieties adapt in various localities in the country. So those were the main aims as to why we were starting the seed exchange program. The activities which is involved in the seed exchange program, was seed selection, seed cleaning, seed sorting, seed preservation, seed testing, and seed packaging. We started packing in 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kgs, and 5 kgs. That is for exchange. And we also had small packets in grams, as the one Julia has presented. Those packets belong to the Eden Seed Bank. Those were for exchanges for those who cannot, because when we talk about seed exchange, I give you seed, you give me your seed, or if you don't have, you can give money, but that is not selling, it's just an exchange. And also another activity was seed deliveries. We used to take seeds to the various communities or groups which we are exchanging with, and the exchange rates was, we give 1 kg of selected seeds in exchange for 3 to 4 kgs of grains of the same seeds. Or packets, we give in gram in exchange with the money, or anything equivalent to that, anything worth of that. So that's what we had been doing, and it has been successful, because as per our record, we have managed from 2021 up to now, we had been able to deal with at least a total of 1,800 kgs of seeds, of selected seeds, and the packets we had sold at least 970 packets. In that, we had been able to reach 1,640 farmers who have either gotten our seed through exchange or buying. And we have reached 10 counties. That is here in Nakuru and Makongo community as large, Kitui County, Laikipia County, Busia County, Kirinyaga, Kiambu, Baringo, Kakamega, Kilifi, and Kisumu counties. And that has made us to be earning a lot of money because when we if I get my 3 kgs of the grains, I can sell as food, and farmers have been earning livelihood because of that. Why did we do that? Yet we know the law does not allow us. There was a time we engaged with our government. We had an engagement with a CS in the Ministry of Agriculture and even some people from KEFIS, and we were asking them, why do you have to put bad laws so that they criminalize us benefiting from the seed? And they told us, have we ever arrested any farmer for exchanging or doing business with the seeds? Unless you pack and take it to Angrovet, we cannot arrest you. So with that weight, we decided now to be exchanging and doing all the activities we had been doing. And I can confirm it is true. No authority has confronted us or telling us that it is wrong. Very recently, we had a public participation with our county government, and we asked them to provide us with a loan for having our seed bank and doing the seed exchange. Luckily, our ward administrator agreed, and I'm yet to follow so that we can be storing our seeds in a facility that the government has provided. So, what we are saying is the law is banned as it is written. They should erase that law and write the one which recognizes us, because even if they have not arrested us, you cannot put a banned law. Someone can come and start making use of that law. So that's why we have gone to the court. I'm one of the petitioners who have gone to court to challenge those laws, and we know we are going to win. We have seen somewhere that they have a draft which is saying that they will be recognizing the seed banks and farmers exchanging their own seeds. And so we are happy on that. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, Francis. Thanks for sharing this insights that you are doing on your own farm as well as with the community around you. And it takes a lot of courage to do this. I can definitely feel the efforts that you are doing on the ground. And also, we like the innovation that only the packaged ones are maybe criminalized. So you have found alternative ways to exchange the seeds with each other. So yeah, we really appreciate all your efforts, and let's see how we can support all the efforts you have done within the Seed Savers Network and at your local community. Also, with the case that is ongoing, how can we, as a global network of organic farmers within INOFO and iFoam Seeds platform, and generally, how can we support your efforts on the ground and the movement that is taking up in Kenya? So, thank you both for your wonderful presentations. We have some questions coming in, but I will take the questions in the end. And I will now proceed to our next presenter, who is from India. And let me introduce him. He is Dr. Ravi K. Magal. And Ravi K. Magal has actually been on various positions on different industries, not related to agriculture, surprisingly, but he has landed to become the CEO of Sahaja Seeds. Sahaja Seeds is a Desi seed producer company in Mysore, India. And he's been there since last 4 years now. And for those who don't know, Sahaja Seeds is India's first farmer-owned organic seed company. And Sahaja Samruddha, an organic farmers collective, spearheaded this movement for the promotion of organic ecological agriculture through the revival of indigenous seeds. They have now grown into a bigger company with which supplies indigenous seeds throughout the country with its tagline owned by farmers and run by professionals. So yes, we will hear the story of Sahaja Seeds from Dr. Ravi himself. Over to you, Ravi. Can you unmute? Yes.
Can you hear me now?
And yes, we can hear you. And Daniel, can you put up his presentation, please? And thankfully, we have both the situations here where in Kenya we have the informal networks and the policies which don't allow, as well as we have in India this innovative cooperative who has found this alternative with the Indian laws and that allows this exchange. So over to you, Ravi.
First of all, thank you very much, Amika, for giving us this opportunity to speak a little bit about our company. And I'm quite overwhelmed by the kind of efforts Francis and Julia have put in. And they seem to be facing a lot of challenges and coming out very successful in that. As regards Desi Seed Producer Company Limited, basically we have a lot of farmers who were collecting seeds very informally, as in Kenya we have seen. Only thing is some like-minded farmers in 2013 thought that they should come together to make it available for the general public to have it. Now, when we say first organic farmer producer company, what it actually means is that we supply the seeds which are as per NPOP standards. When we say NPOP standards, it means that we have to follow a lot of rules and regulations to ensure that the seeds are purely organic. But to keep it very simple, when you supply organic seeds, we not only test it for germination, quality, and all, we also have a traceability link. That means if we know there is a problem with a particular seed, we can go back, check which farmer has given, when, and all that. And then, as Shamika mentioned, our punchline is owned by farmers, run by professionals. Because many a times the farmers are working in fields where there is no internet and they don't get into much of paperwork. Because when you talk of organic certification, there's a lot of paperwork required. And to make sure of that, our team is working on that. So the farmers from whom we actually collect these seeds, we actually sponsor their organic certification. So we take care of the full certification process, and thereby we ensure that the seeds which finally go to the customers and the people who have it, it is purely organic. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. Now this is a small glimpse of just taken outside our office. Basically, we have only farmers as our shareholders. About 41 farmers are there because we have encouraged even very small amounts, like when you talk in dollars, even about, say around now, of course, the dollar rate has gone up, but we have even accepted $10, but we have not made it as a individual. We have made it in groups. So you see a lot of ladies dressed in sarees and all. They have come, in fact, in some uniform also. That is because they have all contributed to their group. And like that, we have many groups. As you can see in the second point, 10 women sanghas are there, farmer group, shareholders, and each group consists about 45 to 50 members. So technically, if you go to see, we have only 41 farmers. But if you add these groups, we have more than 500 shareholders actually, which is quite big for a small organization like ours. And our share capital today stands at about 4.52 lakhs, which is about 5,318 today's dollar value. And we are looking for some very good investors now to take the company further forward. Next slide. This is just a small snapshot of some of our products. You can see the what do you call it? The lot of chilies and tomatoes. We have at least about 20 types of tomatoes, about 10 to 12 types of brinjals, about 6 to 8 types of chilies. Some of them which are grown in India, these chilies, they are extremely spicy and a small quantity is enough to make your meal. Next slide, please. Since ours is a farmer production company, we believe that the farmer is the center of it. So I have just selected a very few slides just to give you an idea how the products look like once our seeds are actually sowed. This, for example, is Keshav Murthy, where he has grown. It looks like a snake, but it's actually a brinjal. Can you imagine a brinjal which is more than 1 feet long? That's the kind of amazing work which our team is doing. Next. This is red maize, which was also mentioned by Julia. We have a very good this thing, and we have different types of maize. We have the normal sweet corn, then we have this red maize. We have also multicolored maize. I just selected a few slides. Next. Yeah. Now this is called Siddha Sanna, which is a type of rice which has been sort of made in India, invented like. Siddha Sanna has actually come from one of our farmers' parents' names. Siddha Raju being the father's name and Sannamma being the mother's name. That is how it's called Siddha Sanna. And the photo you see is one of our directors who's growing in a very big quantity during the season. Next. This is another type of rice which is called NMS2 by one of our farmer Shankar Guru, again organic. Next. This is a type of tomato. I mean, can't believe it. It's called atomic grape tomato. It looks very interesting, and we have a very good requirement of this tomato, which is not very much known, but that is one of our specialities. We are trying to always grow some rare varieties of normal tomatoes, brinjals, and pumpkins. If you visit our website, you can get to know more about it. And we also have a catalog which can be downloaded. Next. Now, this is called the Sri Okra, which is the most common type of lady's finger, as we call it. Even in ladies' fingers, there are almost 4 to 5 types. And this one is a very popular one called the Sri Okra. See how it's being grown. And this is the bitter gourd. This is something which is very good for diabetes. And these are how the yield looks like. Next. And finally, we have the finger millet, which is a very good alternative for rice. And those who are very health conscious and diet conscious, millets is the future actually. In fact, last year was called the International Year of the Millets, where we participated in a lot of millet festivals. And we have the capacity now to supply very good volumes of millets. Next. Presence in the market. I think this is the most key area. Our strength has come actually from our customers. GIZ, that is a very leading German NGO, which is based out of Delhi. They have been one of our very steady customers for the past 2 to 3 years. And then the Keystone Foundation, Timbuktu Collective, Vasan, Wagdara, Triple O Farms. This is one of the reasons of our success. These are customers who have been buying in good volumes and given us good feedback as well. And we have taken their feedback and we have been continuously getting business. And one thing is that These are Keystone, for example, Timbuktu Collective. They are all NGOs who are actually onward forwarding the seeds to the farmers. Next. Participation in seed festivals. I would say that seed festivals has become something very critical to our own existence and promotion of our organic seeds. You can see here we are present all over India. In Maharashtra, we had in Delhi, then in Kerala, then in Tamil Nadu, then also in Kannur, Odisha, and in Karnataka, where we are from. So, this different types of festivals which we are organizing, I'll be showing you much more of the festivals as we keep on going along. Next. This is just some snapshots. What we do is we call some of our very senior agricultural government officials to inaugurate. In fact, today also I had been to meet the director of agriculture in Mysore to invite him for our next shareholders meeting, which is coming up on this Monday. And shareholders means, of course, all our farmers. Next. This is another view of where some VIPs have visited the exhibitions and they are trying to understand our produce, purely organic and air potato. This is something which has taken off very well in the last 2 years. And there are farmers who have taken about 50 kg of air potatoes and produced almost 1 ton of air potatoes from them. Next. This is some representations at the Organic Fest, which is held in Bangalore, which is do comes on, and then of course in Cochin also we have, which is another very fertile area for a lot of type of seeds. Next, this is a stall we had set up in Tamil Nadu. So basically, when you talk of our marketing, we are purely organic, certified organic. As I mentioned earlier, we have the traceability, we have the germination checks. If the standard germination as per NPOP standard is about say 60 or 70%, we do not stop at that. We try to make it 80%, 90%. Of course, I won't say 100%. It's only an effort because whatever you do, maybe 1 or 2% you might lose out on. But still, the effort is to give the best to the customers, and we ourselves reject the seeds. Next. This is another example of some VIPs. And one more area which I wanted to highlight is our organic seed training. We organize repeated trainings. You will see in one of the slides, a big team from Bangladesh had come down and we explained to them how actually you can set up this. See, one is an informal selling of seeds from seed savers, collecting, giving it to somebody, getting something else in return. But we are trying to make it in a very organized manner, which is traceable, which has a link with the standards, and the customer is assured of a very good quality and consistent. That's why what we call as a packet, it is designed in such a way that you get a decent spread and decent germination. So it's called KGP, that is kitchen garden packets, which is ideal for those who do not have a proper space. And nowadays in Bombay and in Bangalore, where people stay in apartments and all that, you know, in your small balcony or in your small terrace garden, you can really grow these seeds very well tested and with a sure shot result. Next. We are giving training to farmers, which is something which is an ongoing process, because when we have to do our certification renewal, this is one of the key areas which is checked by the inspectors as to, are you training your farmers? Are you upgrading them? Or you are just filling up some papers? As a company, we believe that we should honor the spirit of organic farming. And all this training is being done regularly with records being kept to upgrade the farmer. and to explain to him how things can be done better. Yeah, next slide. This is, you can see, the Bangladesh farmer team had come down, and we had presented a full training on how the organic farming can be done and how it can be made as a formal enterprise. I think that's a very important thing for our countries, because the farmers are often a neglected lot, and these missing links make them, far away from the corporates. But in our company, as mentioned earlier, it is a organization of the farmer which is run by professionals. We are trying our best to make sure that everything is proper. That next. So another, this is a team visited our processing unit from Maharashtra, and then we had another presentation in Delhi. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is just a quick look at some of our processing. This is not my forte. As Shamika already mentioned, I am actually not much into agriculture except for the past few years. But still felt that you need to get some ideas. Millet cleaning, this machine we have installed with us to make sure that the good quality products come. Because even today, labor cost is also increasing. To clean the millets is very important. Next. Bagging of the seeds. We are also into a big way in launching calendars. We have over the years launched calendars in different languages, mainly Hindi, English, and some local languages. And this has been very popular with us. And we are already working on a 2025 calendar. So I hope INOFO will do take a look at the calendars when the right times come. If you need to know a little bit more about our calendar, just check out our website. Next. This is another training program where the business plans are discussed and some VIPs are visited for checking out our seeds, millets. We had also sort of participated in the Genome Savior Award, so that committee is actually looking around. Next. And then this is our annual general meeting run by professionals. This is what is important. We have a proper audit report. We have proper auditors, internal auditors to check the stocks every month. We also have the proper external statutory auditors. We publish our balance sheet and we distribute it to our shareholders. And the most important thing is the prices are fixed by the farmers. And at the end of the year, they also get back some prices. So we do not work like a formal corporate where we put all the money inside. We just give it back to the farmers. So they get like a bonus. Next. Sorry, my throat has suddenly become bad. This is another 21-22 meeting. Next. This is the 22-23 meeting, which I showed you earlier. You can see our farmer associations and some key farmers as well. Next. That's it. This is a final product of some of our tomatoes. And what I have today tried to focus on, that we are basically a farmer production company where we teach the farmers how to do organic farming, get them certified, get their products, and then take it forward. So I think
Yes.
you have got a brief idea.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Ravi. And it's a great learning experience to share this stories of seed keepers and seed savers from India and from Kenya and from other. We have here different countries represented. I think we have people here from Germany, Indonesia, India, and I don't know how many others, but Germany, US. So yeah, we have people from around the world trying to understand the stories of seed savers from India and Kenya. So thank you all the presenters, and now I will open it for any questions that are there from the audience. I already saw a few in the chat. Just allow me to go through them. Okay. There's one question from James Biwott. It's so nice to being seed saver. How do you grow seeds before exchanging them without cross pollination? So there's one question on cross pollination to Julia or to Francis. How do you avoid cross pollination?
Okay. Can I answer?
Yes,
Yes,
Francis.
yes.
Okay. To answer that question, I would say that mostly we deal with the open pollinated seeds. And for example, if it is beans, we are trained how to put the buffer that cross pollination will not take place. Again, we do the timing. The time we are planting since our neighbors are not doing the same, so there's no possibility of cross pollination. And then because it is farmer seeds, we are not so keen on, or we had not having a problem of cross pollination. It has not been a problem. People we deal mostly with the common beans and maize, these indigenous beans, and we may say that we currently don't have the problem of cross pollination. And if it happen to have someone wants pure quality, we know how to grow it by putting the buffer. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Francis. And I also see one more question to again Julia about. I'm curious, aside from the legal actions to challenge the laws that treat farmers as criminals for trading or exchanging their traditional seeds, what efforts are you and your team making to advocate with the policymakers? Julia, can you give a short answer on this one? I think you've said something on the chat, but better to also say it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It is we have been bringing government agencies close to us to have dialogues and actually as a network, and also part of the farmers that are within the network are in different committees of reviewing different policies that are currently under amendments. And we are seeing efforts and government individuals seeing the issues around food sovereignty and actually taking steps to change our laws, the different laws that we have. So we actually have very nice progress in terms of amendments of our policies. Like, for example, the Seed and Plant Varieties Act. Currently, there are some dialogue on amendment, and we are part of the people within the committee, and we were able to provide our suggestions in terms of recognizing the farmer managed seed system, looking for ways of creating a system that also looks at farmers' varieties and also ensuring there is that diversity. So because, for instance, with our laws, we have something we call DUS, distinction, uniformity, and S is for, maybe someone in the chat can confirm S stands for what? Those
Stability.
stability. Thank you, Francis. So when we talk of the work we are promoting and we are emphasizing on diversity, if this particular policy or this particular the DUS system, it will limit us in terms of diversity and diversifying the food within the farmers' fields. So we are saying with the amendments that we are proposing that we need to find a niche and a way that farmers, and I was very inspired from Ravi's presentation of the work they are doing in India. And I think more conversation will happen after this on on how they are able to mentor and work. We are able to work together and see some of the learnings that farmers from the Kenya could learn from already what is in India. I know with India, the laws and policies have favoring farmers more. So I think also there is that learning to see what we can borrow and be able to have that within our legally with the laws and the government that we have. But we are working with government closely, and they understand the issues and they see the problem, and we hope to solve the problem very soon.
Great, thanks, Julia. I don't see any question, but I definitely see a lot of things regarding the importance of solidarity and how we should collaborate and join hands, because we need to unite in any case, because the pressure against us from the corporates is immense. And there's some question again to Julia on DUS. Do you want to take that?
Yes. Sorry, I think I missed on maybe explaining, Angela, from what you're mentioning. So what I'm saying for the DUS itself and what KEFIS, which is the Kenya Plant Inspectorate Services, as one of the things they look in new varieties in registration of seeds. So we are saying in our amendments and the proposals we've made, we are trying to see how to amend for the farmer managed seed system not to have DUS. So basically what we are saying is we are in talks even with KEFIS themselves to see whether we could create another way of registration of farmers, the varieties, without using DUS, and also other factors of seeds. I hope I have answered, and I see Francis wants to add.
Yes, Francis?
Yes. Okay. I may also add to what Julia is saying by saying that we as farmers are not too keen on DUS because our indigenous seeds, there are some which cannot withstand the DUS test. So the issue of being distinct, uniform, and stability in our farmer seeds doesn't come. It happens only on breeder seeds, the ones which are hybrid. And we don't think that the seeds which are DUS compliant are more nutritious than the one which are not. So we are not keen as farmers in the US, and even the government officials who are engaging it are also agreeing on that, because if 80% of the seeds produced in Kenya comes from informal sector, our sector, which is not supported by the government, those who have DUS seeds, they can only produce 20. That means if we are supported just a bit, it will dominate the whole process. So we are not so keen on DUS as farmers. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Francis. And I had one Damian's hand up, but it's now down. And I see one question from Federica to Sahaja. Yes, 1 minute. Damian's hand is again up. Yes, Damian. You can ask your question. Unmute yourself.
Oh, thank you very much. My name is Damian from Farm Organization in Arusha. I have a question, but then with an explanation that in Tanzania we have been advocating for the farmers managed seed system through our coalition with national seed working groups, and we ended up coming with a national ecological and organic agriculture strategy, and now the government is also moving. So I'm asking if in Kenya or in from the presenters, are they having such a movement that can maybe join hands, farm organization and also other like-minded organizations to move agenda of farmer managed system, at least and to have not only maybe results, but then to see the energy and the push from the farmer organizations.
Yes, okay. Thanks, Damian. Who wants to answer, Julia or Francis?
Sorry, I missed part of Damian's question, but I see already like a point of collaboration, an area of partnership collaboration because of the work you're already doing in Tanzania. I know we are currently in an effort to have more like a working group, an East African working group. But also, Damian, maybe you could rephrase or summarize the question a bit. I think I missed part of the question. Sorry for that.
Yeah, your voice was slightly breaking, Damian. Maybe you
Okay,
can switch off the video, then your audio will be more clearer.
thank you very much. Okay, one part of the questions you answered, and another question is how are you collaborating with like-minded organization to move on these farmer managed systems?
Okay, all right. So I think it's clear. How we are collaborating. Number one, we are in a platform. It's called Intersectorial Forum for Agrobiodiversity and Agroecology. So this platform is a national platform, but in Kenya, where we have all like-minded organizations coming in, joining hands for dialogues and policy. We do policy papers, policy briefs, and we are able to. We even have government. We have government representation in the forum. So that is one of the efforts. But locally, in the region, I think the effort is there, but I'm glad that also to connect on this platform, this webinar that we have, it will form a basis for more collaboration to see what efforts we can work together. Because, for instance, on the international space, for instance, the International Treaty for Plant Genetic Resources, where we are in an African working group, and we've been able to give our stand through the CSO group. So I think there are many ways that we've been able to have efforts, and also through this network, Damian, we shall share contacts and be able to, share the work we are doing and see how we can advance this work, and even be able to provide our stand in relation to also platforms like the CBD. Yeah.
Yes, thanks, Julia. Then we have another question from Federica. Can you speak up, Federica, to ask your question directly to him?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry. Yes, I had a question for the Sanjo Seeds presenter. So I wanted to, maybe you said and I missed it, I wanted to know if you're working only with open pollinated varieties or also with hybrids. And then I was checking your website, I saw that you have also like offering seeds like from cabbages and cauliflowers. I know like it's a bit tricky to produce them. So I wanted to know if you could share a bit more about the breeding program for these crops and what are the challenges you're facing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we deal only strictly with open pollinated seeds. No hybrid, nothing. We are nowhere connected with hybrid at all, with whether it is seeds or fruits, I mean vegetables or fruits or cereals. Flowers, very rarely we get a organic requirement because after all it's not much edible. But coming back to the other part of the question, you are right that cabbage, cauliflower, and there are certain vegetables which are not so easy to grow, particularly in Karnataka in our climate. So we have tied up with a few organic farmers who are in the northeast of the country, like Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, in those areas, because they are essentially winter crops. And we take from them, and then there is a procedure. Whenever you get the seeds from another organic certified company, there is one transaction approval sheet which has to be collected from them, and that has to be produced to our certifying body. So that is the procedure. As far as how to grow lettuce and cabbage, well, I am not the right guy for that, but I can probably connect you to some experts on that, and maybe they can guide you. But yes, these are a bit difficult, and you need a proper climate for that. And there are so many varieties also of lettuce. It's like brinjal or tomato, which are easier to grow and they are there throughout the year, but not lettuce and cabbage. They come only in the winter months, and there also it is purely organic. I hope that answers your questions.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ravi and Federica. Now I don't see any questions in the chat, but a lot of collaborative ideas which are already on the go, which is good. Yeah, but in case anybody has any questions, now is the time to ask questions to our speakers. But if you don't have,
well,
Juliet,
maybe a speaker can also ask another speaker.
yes, please. That's also an idea.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
maybe to Ravi and the work they're doing in India, I was wondering in terms of ensuring that organic, like every farmer is producing organically. I don't know whether you use PGS for seeds, or maybe you can share more on how you do that.
What is PGS? I didn't fully understand.
Yeah, so basically PGS is the participatory guarantee systems, Ravi, and it is the for the domestic use within India. It's a shared certification to make it easier and simpler for understanding. But yes, so as far as my knowledge, Sahajas, the seeds actually were looking out earlier, some years back, they were looking out for PGS in seeds, for their seeds. But I think that was not the case, that was not available within the country. And then they have moved on to NPOP, which he already mentioned in his presentation. So all farmers are NPOP certified, which means it's the third party certification that they have done within the country. The
Yeah.
NPOP is the national production, national platform for organic production within India. It's a third party certification system within India approved by the government of India.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Federica has another question. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, since we are talking about certification, is the company then that is paying for the certification of the farmers? And do you know how much does it cost per farmer approximately?
Yeah, I can answer this question. See, basically, we are paying for the farmer, but the farmer has an option. I mean, a particular farmer can always uh, directly go to the certifying body who are approved by APEDA, which is the Council for Organic Certification in India, which is based at Delhi. But the problem with farmers is that there's a lot of data required, and many a time they don't have internet connectivity. And nowadays, it's all everything is on the computer. And that is the beauty of organic certification. If I just tell you I'm organically certified, you can always cross verify it. There is a separate data entry where we have to fill up not only the farmer's location of the farm and the latitude, longitude of the location, we also have to give every year what is the crop which has come, whether it is the main crop, whether it is an intermittent crop, and also we have to give what is the yield out of it. Everything has to be recorded and certified. In India, I would say if a farmer directly approaches, which is not easy because he has to fix with the body and then the inspector has to come, they have to check all these things and the records have to be verified for the whole year because they don't do inspection every month or so. Only when the certificate has to be renewed, they will come. And in India, for that, it costs anywhere between 15,000 rupees to 20,000. Or if you say in dollars, I would say maybe about $200, 200 US dollars approximately for each certification. Whereas we do it for more than 200 farmers together. And that is the support we are giving the farmers. So he doesn't have to worry about the paperwork. He doesn't have to worry about the money. He has to make sure that he grows organically the seeds which his cultivation land is committed to us. Because if a farmer has, let's say, 6 acres of land, it's not necessary that all 6 acres he has to grow organic. He will give 2 acres for us, or maybe three, depending on the farmer. Farmer to farmer, it varies, and the balance is he grows his own whatever he likes. Like, of course, there's a boundary separation, a lot of rules are there.
Yes. Okay. Thanks, Ravi. It's interesting discussion and questions coming up. And I also want to say that if anybody has any questions later on PGS or participatory guarantee systems or in general certification, you can write to us on our email and we will get back to you. Then there's one more question. What do you do when in Japan? Who is this? Patience. Patience. Can you explain your question that you have written in the chat?
Thank you. I'm Patience. I'm from Rwanda. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
I
can
would
hear
like
you.
to
Go
ask
ahead.
Julia,
Mhm.
from the slides she presented, I saw that they do the packaging of seeds in order to keep them in small amounts, like in small bottles. I would just like to learn from her, what do they do when they have like large quantities? How do they store them? Because in the packaging of seeds, I know we can lose the quality of seeds we are preserving, or we can just keep it as we really need quality seeds.
Yes,
Thank you.
Julia.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Patience. And also Francis, as a farmer, will also share part of what he does himself. So for the community seed bank, because the idea is to keep for short term, like 2 seasons within a year, the next season they are able to plant. So if they have large quantities, mostly they use different ways, just ensuring they have something with a tight. So for instance, they use the double bags, the quality double bag, where inside there is more like a hard polythene, and then I don't know whether you're familiar with the double bags, Patience.
Yes, I am.
All right. So that is one of the technologies or what farmers use for larger quantities. But also others have shared that maybe sometimes even the double bags have gotten attacked. So we have documented some traditional preservation methods of seeds. For instance, we use the normal wood ash to mix with the seeds and also then store. It's like reinforcing the process of storage by mixing with ash and then storing with the double bags. But also maybe Francis could share more technologies that he himself and other farmers within their group use for larger quantities for storage.
Okay, thank you, Julia. As I mentioned, one of the activities involved in the seed exchange program is seed preservation and seed packaging. Seed preservation, after harvesting, we store those seeds in our seed banks, in double bags, in jugs, and even in grass jug. If it is bulk, we put them in huge plastic jugs, airtight. And we normally put wood ash. Wood ash, there is no weevil which will penetrate through the weevil. It also denies the pest airspace. So normally, it is very effective. In our seed bank, we keep seeds even. We have seeds which are still viable, and this is the third year. So we don't have a problem of deterioration due to due to preservation. We are using wood ash, which is available to the local farmers. And in packaging, now if we want now to transport, that is the time we package. We can put in the small packages which Julia presented, and also we normally put in 1 kg package that is crowd material, and 2 kgs, 3 kg, 5 kgs, depending with the order we have been given by those farmers which require them. But before we take them to that particular farmer who wants them, we have to subject those things into germination test and also moisture test and see that it is okay. And if we have a problem of maybe seed dormancy, we normally advise what to do, maybe seed priming, so we don't have problem with the quality of seeds we exchange with, and we have not had any complaint from the farmers who are receiving the seeds. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Francis and Julia, for your response. Yes, now we will gradually wrap up with the last few questions. There's one question from Angela. Is there any particular wood of any particular tree that is being used for preservation method of wood ash? Julia, Francis, anybody wants to answer this?
Okay.
Yeah, Francis, you can go first, yeah.
Okay, I would say there's no particular wood which we use, but all what we avoid is that wood ash contaminated maybe with the plastics. We don't use it, but the most preferably ash is from dried cow dung. That is the one which is very bitter. We even mix wood ash with the pepper powder. It is most effective. No pest will survive there. So we have not met a case that a certain wood is better than the other, so long as it is wood ash. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I wanted to say the same. Thank you, Francis. But I wanted to add that for the hermetic bags, which I see Beatrice has shared the name. So for those double bags, sometimes the farmers also they soak them in neem tree. You know, you take the leaves of the neem trees, you crush with some chili, and you soak in water. They soak some of these bags before they put the seed. So they are very innovative ways of preserving and ensuring there is that organic preservation, which also brings me to another question, Shamika, through Shamika, or to Ravi on the organic seeds. I don't know what ways you use for preserving before packaging. Yeah, for the organic seeds. And also, I see Beatrice has mentioned something. Yes, we also use the diatomaceous earth or the diatomaceous ash. We use that, especially ourselves. We are close to the Lake Elementaita, which is readily available, and it works the same as ash. It's just that it is gotten close to Lake Elementaita. Yeah.
Yes, thanks, Julia. Ravi, do you want to take this
Yeah,
question on
I can
storage?
just tell you that the preservation of seeds before packing depends on the type of the seed. Now, for example, if you are packing ladies' finger seeds, they have to be specifically kept in aluminum foils and cold storage. So it all depends on the type of seed because we generally put an expiry date on our seeds, which is for the customer 6 months. But internally, we know that probably a little bit more we can stretch, but that we do not advise to the customer because sometimes the customer buys the seeds and does not use it in the due date. Then sometimes we even give an exchange also because we do not want our customers to be stuck with seeds which he has not used. So it all depends on the type of seed. We have cold storage, we have normal condition storage, aluminum foils, plastic in separate containers which are totally moisture free. So everything depends on the type of seed you are storing.
Yes, thanks, Ravi.
Sorry,
And
Shamika.
yes.
Sorry, Shamika, just a small follow-up on that question. So usually for the other conventional or the non-organic seeds, they have a seed coating of a chemical seed coating before packaging. I think so. Would you maybe speak on
No.
any coat?
In organic seeds, we have no coat.
Not allowed. Yes.
Absolutely no. Yeah, nothing at all.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yes, so it's a good discussion, and I think it will continue because seeds is such an interesting topic for most of us who are working with the farms. So this discussion will definitely continue further. But as the time is coming to a close, I will like to wrap up the session now, and I hope you can exchange your contact details to each other in the chat so that we all stay connected through this network that we have now created, and also through INOFO that we are here today for this webinar. And I would like to also tell you that there are some questions coming up on PGS and certification that I see. I also want to tell you that the next webinar is on our participatory guarantee systems, and we have our members in different countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, also Oceania, Pacific, and other continents where they are working on participatory guarantee systems. And we will speak about that in our next webinar, which is scheduled on 18th September, and you will get the notification on our website as well as in the emails. If you approach us. Yes, Ravi has shared his email and Julia has also shared their emails. So you can keep in touch with the speakers and also with us through these webinars. And if you have any further queries regarding PGS or certification, you can always write to us on our info@inofo.bio email ID. And those who also want to visit our website, we have a website called inofo.bio, in which you will see all the upcoming events and news that happens all over INOFO. Also, we have a donation button. So in case there are any people in the audience or listening to us, if you want to contribute to all the efforts done by INOFO in different parts of the world, you can also donate a small amount through our website. And thank you all for joining here. It's a wonderful session of discussion, and we had done a participatory guarantee systems webinar a few years back. But again, initiating these webinars and knowledge exchange between the members is such an inspiration to all of us. So thanks for giving your time and patience. So we will see you in the next webinar. And thanks to all the speakers, Ravi, Julia, and Francis. Also, not to mention, not to forget our sponsors or the donors, and also one small project through which we were able to do this through IUCN and the FFF, that is the Forest Farm Facility of IUCN through FAO. So thanks to all the organizers through the project. And also thanks to iFoam Seeds platform who are here today and have made it a point to join hands together with the different participants who have come here. Also, not to forget the technical team on the background. We have Daniel from Uganda who is helping us with the technical support, and Caroline who is our global support, helping with the other organizational part of this webinar. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining, and see you in the next webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
so much.